I have to like do my research about, depending on where you're going, the rates. And, that also depends what subway station you're entering at. So got to be wise about that too. If you can walk it, you might as well walk it. Um, so yeah, I miss the unlimited cards. Um, but these cards are great because like you use them and you keep putting money on them, but they're just really great, like these great cards. And again, I don't mind it as much because the subway system is amazing. The only thing is, like, the good thing is about these cards with the subway system is that every time you gotta swipe in when you enter a station, and then you have to swipe out when you're exiting the station that you just took that train to. So when you're exiting, it tells you how much they've just charged you, and it also tells you how much is left on your card. So that's good in the sense that you can keep track of, oh, when do I need to, do a refill on this card. And they have like these machines where you just go put money on them all the time. It's just a matter of remembering to do that with being on the run. Like, if you're constantly being busy, you just have to, sorry, my back itches too. So if you're doing that, just remember to refill your card. That's it. Going off the subject of the trains, the metro system, something that I think is so hilarious is 7-Elevens here. Like, there's a 7-Eleven every 2 blocks. Like, I kid you not. And it's amazing because with these 7-Elevens, you don't even have to go into a supermarket to get food. Like, and you guys know that from back home too. But there's like one every 2 blocks. And it's like, why do they need so many 7-Elevens? I don't know. Okay, I can count on one hand how many times I've ever visited a 7-Eleven back home. Like officially went into a 7-Eleven to use it. Like, to get food. 3, maybe 4 times. I kid you not. Like, I was not a 7-Eleven person back home. Here, I've lost track, okay? I've seriously lost track. How many times I've been into a 7-Eleven. It's insane how many times I've been into a 7-Eleven. It just is, right? It's amazing. And then they have like these other stores called Circle K. They're kind of like 7-Elevens too. They kind of have like the same thing. And they're everywhere too. Circle K. I have a Circle K right down the block from my apartment. And yep, it's like, I'm not sure if it's 24 hours, but I went in there last night and it was after 2 o'clock. So I'm guessing it's a 24-hour Circle K. Amazing. And the McDonald's down the block, well, it's actually a few blocks down from my apartment, but that's close here, right? It's 24 hours, right? And most stores and shops around my area, they stay open to at least 12 o'clock at night. And I'm just like, wow, like the hours these shopkeepers keep is amazing. Like back home, if you want a store that stays open that late, you're lucky if you live in a neighborhood where you have a bodega where they cater to their neighborhood like that. You're lucky. Okay? Here, it doesn't matter. And on that note of the whole late night thing, subway system here shuts down at 12. Bummer, right? Not really. You just get used to it, right? But I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm just trying to think of all the times like back home where I'd be out past 12 and I never once had to think about, oh, how am I getting home? Right? Never. Like, yeah, the subway might be a little bit like slower, but it's always running. And I guess that goes along with the saying, New York, the city that never sleeps. Like, subways and buses, whether they're slower or faster, they are constantly in service. Every day, every night, every hour of the day, 24/7. So like for instance, last night after karaoke, I ended up having to take a cab home because obviously it was after 12 o'clock. But the thing is, it's so inexpensive when you like cab it with like more than two people. Because again, taking a cab here and like most things, like eating here too, like buying food, it's so inexpensive. It's amazing how inexpensive it is. Living here is easy in that sense. Like, you really don't have to worry about spending a lot of money if you're smart about it. So yeah, that's just something to think about. What else was I gonna talk to you guys about? Huh. Oh, well, you guys know it's hot here, right? So, just like back home, how I would avoid heat, like avoid being outside as much as possible, I'm trying my utmost best to do the same thing here, because here it's not only hot, it's very humid. I've yet to get a tan, I think. I mean, yeah, I don't think I've gotten a tan. I got more of a tan when I was doing summer camp, right before I left. So yeah, I have not tanned here yet, and that's because I use a moisturizer that has sunblock, which everyone should wear if you're going out and going to be in sun for long periods of time, regardless. But I've not tanned, and I guess I attribute that to my sunblock lotion, as well as just trying to stay out of the sun as much as possible. And I mean, here when it gets really hot and the sun is like beaming down on you, the locals here, they put up them umbrellas. They do it all the time, and I'm just like, oh, why are they doing that? It looks kind of weird to me, because I'm like, oh, you only use umbrellas in the rain, right? I have a feeling I'm going to be starting doing that very soon. But maybe not that soon, because supposedly the weather's supposed to start getting cooler with us approaching October. So, we'll see. Remember how I spoke about the parks? Well, in the parks, early morning, and when I say early morning, I'm not talking about like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm talking about like 8 o'clock for right now, just because 8 o'clock, 7:30, just because that's how early I'm going out in the morning. But I have a feeling that the people I'm observing in the morning have been there way before I started walking past them. So I told you there's like a lot of parks, and in these parks you see the older men and women, like we call them old people, but I'm just gonna call them older, because let me tell you, these people are so fit, and their level of commitment to fitness is so amazing. Like, I see them in the morning doing like different katas, like working out their body muscles and stretching and walking, like, power walking. It's amazing, and they all do it every single day. Yeah, and it's funny because back home when I would observe people, okay, backtrack a little, right? Remember when I said in that very first video that I never met Chinese people before in my life? Well, I kind of lied, but not really. I forgot. Like, somehow I blocked it out of my mind. When I grew up over in Williamsburg, like, the neighbors, like, 4 houses down from me, like the 4 houses, 1, 2, 3, 4, from my house, they were all Chinese. I don't know how I forgot that. And like 2 of my best friends, me and my sister, we had these best friends that lived right next door to us, and they were Chinese. But anyway, I say that to say that their grandparents, especially my next door, like the sisters right next door, their grandfather, he would walk in the park and do like these stretching things every day, morning and night. And me and my sister would just be like, wow, he's always doing that. Like, why does he always do that? We just thought it was weird, like, because it's not like the American version of working out. So we were just like, what is he doing? So anyway, yeah, I had observed early on in my life, in my childhood, that Chinese people, I mean, I'm guessing this is something that's normal. Like, they always work their bodies out. Like, they're very conscious about keeping fit